I am back. Where was I, you may ask? Well, I was just building a couple of Arduino cases. So using the same material and the same build techniques, I am going to build a phone holder. In fact, it is the same type of phone holder that I use to film my videos with. It's a little bit tough to see it because it's clear, but that's why I'm doing it in blue. I'm going to do it in smoke, and I'm also going to do another version in red. So I'm probably only going to do the blue and the red on camera. They're slightly different versions. You can see that this is a J and this is a U, so they work differently. Also, the base has a screw for a 1/4 bolt, so you can attach it to a tripod, whereas this one doesn't have that option. Regardless of whether you get the U style or the J style, you can opt for the tripod version or not. So, one last note, you'll notice that this has both the J and the U on it. Originally, it was both a U. Then I knocked it off a table and a piece broke off, and instead of throwing it away, I kept using it. I realized that not having that upright on the side of my screen was actually a good thing. Made things a little bit easier. But I do like to have it held onto, so I'm leaving this piece until it breaks off and going from there. So the advent of the J style was an accident from breakage of the U. So on we go. Whoops. You can see a hazard there of the upright is if you don't have your camera in the right spot, you can... I'm not sure what happened there, but the video cut out. So I was talking to myself there for a little bit. So as I was saying, you can get the acrylic into the view, but that's easy enough. You just slide it off to the side. Okay, so I'm going to use the same build process as I did with the Arduino case, and I'm going to use the same acrylic glue cement. So this is Plasti-Weld. It's a water fine cement. It's pretty nasty stuff, as you can tell from the label. Not only the wording, but also that it has smeared the wording. So, if I can get this to zoom in, there we go. Contains methylene chloride. I don't know what that means, but the fact that it tells you to flush everything thoroughly with water if in contact, do not induce vomiting, call a physician. Yeah, it's nasty stuff. But you can get it at Hobby Lobby, and it comes in this handy dandy case to help it not evaporate on you. This is some very quick drying stuff. It will evaporate, and because it is so fine, you'll have to get, or thin, you'll have to get an applicator bottle like this. So on with the build. What I have here are the pieces all laid out. There we go, some focus. We have the two uprights, two cross pieces, two pieces for the base, and the cross piece for the base. So I'm going to build the base first, because that's just easier. Fewer pieces, fewer movements. So you just take these and plop them in like that. We're done. Except for the gluing. So I'm going to flip this over. Oops, a little too much there, but not a big deal. There we go. And since it has gone all down the length of the bottom there, I'm just going to leave it upside down. Okay, it's already dried, so I'm going to flip it back over and square it up real quick. This is just a piece of acrylic that I got from the local acrylic supply. It's an industrial supply, so they have all kinds of cool pieces like this. This is a really thick piece. I've used it as a stand, as a square, like you just saw, as well as a few other things. So I use all kinds of different things in all kinds of different ways. So the next, if I can pick that up, okay. We're going to do one of the uprights. So I'm going to clean it off, because these things never stay clean. And I'm going to put the long piece on the bottom, and I'm going to do the same there. Flip it over. And see about applying the cement. And because it is so thin, it goes everywhere. Oops. That was way more than I needed. It's a good thing this dries like it does. Dries nice and quick. You can see that it is barely there, and it's all gone. You can just barely tell that there's a stain there. So you'll only see it if you're looking for it. The cure time is 24 to 36 hours to get even 80% of the strength. So I can just go ahead and square that up. And then I should be able to just drop this piece in. Okay. Slight interruption there, but nothing major. No harm, no foul. Okay, I just dropped that top piece in there. Okay, that's good enough for now. So, because we don't want it all to evaporate, this tiny little needle goes in this slightly larger needle to keep it safe. So next, we take our extra long computer case screws and we cut some threads. So I'm just using the screw itself to try and cut the threads. And I thought that was going to work. So we'll pause this and get something different. Okay, and I'm back. So let's square this up. And I have a 632 tap with a T-handle. So I'm just very carefully going to tap the threads into the piece. And when you're tapping, you should back off your tap every so often so that the chips come out. You'll know when to do this because it starts to get tough to push that tap through. Starting to get some pretty good binding in here. You can tell by the squeaking, if you can hear that. So I'm just going to back that completely out, wipe off the threads there, and give it another go. Now you might be wondering why I didn't do this before I glued it up. Well, I'm also wondering that too. I'll do that on the next one. Got to be careful when tapping acrylic because it will snap on you. I'm trying not to demonstrate that. Just about there. There it goes. Wipe it off. Now we can check our threads. And there we go. We're good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and tap the other side, but I'm going to speed that up so you don't have to watch it and be as bored as I am. Okay, so it's not that what I do is boring, it's just tapping holes in acrylic isn't the most exciting thing I do all day. Okay, those are good to go. Now we can go ahead and mount the U brackets onto the base. If I can find the other screw, here it is. And you just snug those up. And now you have an adjustable base for your phone that you can go 45-degree angle or thereabouts to another 45-degree angle, and you can hold your phone anywhere in between securely and it won't move, because that's exactly how I hold mine. So, see the hole down there? That's ready to go for a 1/4-20 bolt onto your tripod. Fairly simple. So I'm going to build the red one off camera. I'll be back and show you the results. So before I get too far in this build of the red stand, I need to point out that there is one of these spans that looks a little different. It's shorter and it goes to the base. The other two are the same length as each other, and those two go for the uprights. So with the tripod stand, that's pretty obvious, but the non-tripod stand looks very similar to the other one, so I thought I should point that out. So you watched me build the blue one. Now you can see the red one. Like I said, basically the same. Doesn't have the tripod ready base. Has the full U. And while I was at it, I went ahead and made the translucent black one. So this is all ready to go too. Oops, looks like that one needs a little bit more time to dry. So I'll go ahead and fix that, and now you know how to build these things. See you later.